Hello, good morning. This is our day 12 for our free daily live tutorial since December 14, 2020. For today, we're going to continue our discussion, our fifth example for our HTML topic. Okay, so this is again about the table tag. This is the last example that we're going to create about the table tag, and also I will insert one topic that is actually our related to the next topic, but part of it we will discuss here in the table tag, because for today I'm going to share with you on how to use the table tag or create a nested table tag, meaning you have a table or even tables within a table. Okay, so you have a mother table, and then inside of your mother table you have another table there, because it depends on the purpose, or it depends on the need of your design that you want to lay out. Okay, so let's say for example we're planning to create a resume or a curriculum vitae using the table tags, so that you could organize the alignment, and then it is more organized if you're going to use the table tag. Okay, show with you, or to just discuss briefly on what would be our target layout, I will share with you the whiteboard. Okay, so this is what I mean. We're going to create a mother table. Okay, so inside your mother table, uh, actually this is a table, one TR and one TD. Okay, because there is only one particular row. This is the entire row, and this is also the entire column. So it's one table with one TR and one TD. So inside this, let's say we're going to create a curriculum vitae. We'll write here the name, the address, the contact number, the email, something like that. Everything is at the center. And let's say here we want to specify the personal detail or the personal data. So to make the alignment better or clean, you have to put another table here, and here you specify here the, let's say here, the personal, the word personal, blah blah blah, and data, something like that. And let's say here the age, and then the birth date, the birthplace, etc. And on the next and other information, other pertinent details or information regarding the personal data of your resume, or of a particular resume. And then here, let's say we have here the specialist skills. Okay, let's say specialist skills in programming or in whatever endeavor that you're doing. So we'll write here specialist skills, something like that. And then here, let's say we will include everything. We can put another table here to separate or group those details or those specialist skills according to its category or classification or grouping. Okay, so that's the way we're going to create our sample resume. And by the way, before the personal data, I would like to include here the, let's say, objectives. Okay, objectives. So for the objectives, I want to use the list. Okay, let's say you have three objectives that you want to include here. Let's say to share your knowledge, or to enhance your knowledge, or whatever information that you wanna, or whatever objectives that you want to include here. Okay, so basically that's our the roadmap of our target for today's output. Okay, and then in order to do that, we will begin from the scratch this time. So we are not going to modify the existing HTML that we have. So that this is also part of your review on how to create the basic HTML structure, and then we have the head, the body part, and then inside the head we have the title. Inside the body, we will put these things inside the body or body tag. And okay, so without further ado, let's begin with our let's go to the source code. So I will share with you my editor. Okay, so as you can see from on your screen, that's a blank document. So we will start everything from the scratch. Okay, in order to do that, or to create an HTML document, of course you should have an HTML tag. So an HTML tag is a sandwich tag. That's why you should have the /HTML or the closing tag for HTML. And then inside an HTML, you should have a head, which is also a sandwich tag. Again, you can specify other uh, related tags inside the head, like meta tags or the link, the script, etc. And then again, basically we have the title here. Okay, and then you have the body tag, of course, where you're going to write the content of your page. Okay, so that's the body tag. So this is again the basic structure of HTML. So inside the title, let's say we're going to create a curriculum vitae. For example, this is just a sample. Okay, and then here, okay, so inside the body we're going to add the main table. Okay, okay, so we have now the main table. So inside the table, of course, let's go back to our drawing board. Okay, so we have the main table. Okay. Let's try to make this work first, and then inside it you have here the name and name, the address, the contact number, and the email. Okay, so let's go back to the source code, and of course we should have the table here. And at first we're going to write the tr and the td. Okay, so this is the main table. Let's say if we want to specify a border, okay, one of its attributes or one of the attributes of a table. Okay, so and then let's say we want to specify a width. Say width equals, let's say 75%. 75%. Okay, you can use either double quote or single quote. Okay, so if you start here double quote, it should you should close it for another double quote or double quotation. Okay, and then okay, let's try this one first. And even the height, I think, or although that's automatic, let's try to specify here the height so that we will see the first window that we are trying to do. Let's say here 75% also. And now we're going to save this. Okay, I'll share with you my desktop so that you will see on how to save the file, although you've been doing that. Share desktop. Okay, so this is how we do it. Okay, if you just click the save, or in your case maybe you have the file and then save, but here in my case, okay, so again, if we're going to save this, you just click the save button here, or in your case you have the file and then save. But here in my case, I'm using Linux. I'm saving it under the var.w html. This is my path. So if you're using Windows or Mac, so that's a bit different. Okay, and then I will find for my folder. I'm saving it here. Okay, and then lessons, and then here I will save this as HTML5, okay, or 05 dot HTML. Okay, this is just my naming convention. Again, you can do your own naming convention, and then save. And now I have already the HTML underscore 05 dot HTML. So I've been repeatedly telling you that even if you don't have yet the server side or any services for server side programming, like the Apache or the PHP installed, or if you haven't installed yet the PHP or any server side programming language, that would be okay. The LAMP, even if you're not yet using that, aside from the very first example that I have shown you, the CRUD, the create, read, update, and delete. So you will really need to have the LAMP, SAMP, or the WAMP installation. So if you're using Linux, that is LAMP for Linux, Apache, MySQL, PHP. And if you're using Windows, you can install WAMP, the Windows, Apache, MySQL, PHP. And if you're using Mac or any, because X stands for cross, so cross platform. So if you're using any, even if you're using Windows or Mac OS, you can download and install SAMP, okay, for you to be able to run the PHP and MySQL. But again, in our case, for this particular example, or from the very first HTML sample, so we have now, this is the 5th example for HTML, because this is our 5th day or 5th session or discussion for this topic about HTML. Okay, so going back here, so it's already saved, and then okay, I'll share with you the desktop, the browser. Okay, so we have now here the browser. As you can see on your screen, I have installed already. So when I write here localhost, so I have here already the Apache installed, okay, for Ubuntu. That is the configuration. Okay, by the way, we don't need this time. We don't need this one for now. What I'm going to show with you, okay. So instead of specifying directly the path here, I'm going to show with you on how to open directly that particular file, okay? So I will share again my desktop, okay? Okay, then once you have that already, by the way, we're going to locate that particular file. Okay, so here I'm going to open it. I have here my file explorer, maybe, or probably you also have there the Windows Explorer if you're using Windows, or any file explorer that you have. Then when you open it, I'll go to the HTML here, and then from here I have here the test folder where I saved it, and then inside this one I have a lessons folder. So I have this lessons folder, and then as you can see, there is now the HTML underscore 05.html. So even if I double click this or right click and then open with the Firefox web browser, because that is my default browser, you can set up or configure your default browser. It just happened that I'm using Firefox as the default, because when you install an Ubuntu, automatic you have a Firefox. So if you install Windows, automatic you will have the Internet Explorer, or for the latest, the Microsoft Edge. Okay, so any browser, and then you can double click that, or you can right click to see to it that it will be opened to your browser. Okay, but if it's not yet on your editor, you have to choose open with other application like this one to open the source code. Okay, text editor, notepad, or whatever editor that you have. Okay, but it's already here, so we don't need to do that. What we're going to do is to show it to the browser. Okay, then if I double click this, okay, as you can see from here, we have now the table, which width is 75%. So we have here the remaining 25%. Okay, so that is the entire table with one TR and one TD. So that's why we only one big cell for this time. Okay. Uh, okay, let's go back to the source code editor. Okay. So this time we're going to add some details. Let's say the name. Okay. So once you have this already, okay, we will consider that everything or all the information will be inside this one big table with one TR and TD. Okay, so from here, I could write another table. Okay, I could write another table. Okay, so here I will write another table, and then let's say we put border first so that we would see, and we can just you can just remove that later if you will not need that already. Okay, here you have the, if you specify the table, you should always have the TR and the TD or the TH. Okay, so okay, the TR, the first row, and the TH, and then /TH. Okay, and then here I could write the my name. Let's say all caps, Antonio T. Regondola Jr. Okay, and then on the next, so it should be on the next row, not next column. So I will just make it this way, although it doesn't matter if you put it on the next line or as one liner, or you make it one liner. Okay, so because it's on the next row, and then here I will specify, let's say my place, my address, let's say Philippines, and then below we're going to specify the, let's say, the contact number, the mobile. So that is 63 at 928 313 7339, and that is my mobile number. And then what else? The email. Okay, so I have here the Antonio_Regondola@yahoo.com or the TonyRegondola@gmail.com. So that is my email. Okay, and then or to make it more formal, I think this one here, mobile number. Okay, and then here remove this, and I have here the email. Okay, and then let's try to save this one. Okay, just click the save or Alt F or file and then click the save. Okay, so it is now saved, and let's go back to our browser. Okay, so from our browser, let's click the refresh or the reload button or Control R or F5. Okay, so now we have this. Okay, and in order to put this somewhere here, I think okay, we need to put the v-align attribute. Okay, let's go back to the source code. Okay, so from our source code, we will write here for this one or everything inside this particular tr v-align for vertical alignment. Let's say top. Let's try if what would be the effect of that. Okay, let's go back to the browser and refresh. Okay, so that's it. But we want to put the entire table, this one, inside this. Okay, or on this part. So what we need to do is just add another attribute for our table inside this table. So this is actually already a nested table because you have one big table and you have this one, the small table inside. So that is actually another table with one, actually with 1, 2, 3, 4 rows or table rows, 4 TRs, and each row has only one column. So that's why we only have one TH or TD if you don't want to make it bold. Okay. Again, let's go back to the source code. So our next goal is to put it at the center. So here inside this one, we will add the align for the alignment. Okay, don't be confused with the difference between the v-align and the align. So this is for the alignment, and this one is for the vertical alignment. Okay, so here the value for this one is left, right, or justify. Okay, so but for the v-align you can specify the top or bottom. Okay, and again for the align or the alignment, we will write here center, meaning to say we're planning to put the entire table, this table only, inside this table, this particular or specific table you want to put at the center. Okay, so let's try to save this one, and let's go back to our browser and try to reload the browser. Okay, see, so you can actually remove the border. Okay, if you're already sold out with the design, but for now you will just specify border equals 0 or just remove the entire border attribute inside the table. Okay, or I think we can just use TD here so that we can make this bold letters, and this one is a regular font size. This one is bold, this one is regular, this one is bold, and this one is regular. Okay, so that it's also a review of your of the other tags that we discussed previously, like the bold, italicized, and the font size. Okay, or the font color if you want to change the color. Okay, let's go back to the source code. Okay, And then instead of using th, we're going to use td. For this one, it's okay, th, because everything is bold. But for this one, we will use td. Okay. And this one, td also. But this one, yeah, td also. Okay. And then let's try to refresh and look at the changes. Okay. So if we reload this, okay, so that's it. But we want to make this, or to put this at the center. Okay. So we can just specify align equals center. Okay. So in order to do that, and we can also make this a larger font. Okay. Okay. In order to do that, this one. So you can put either inside the TR or inside the TD, because anyway we only have one table data or one only column. But if you want to center only a particular TD, if you have multi columns here, you have to put the alignment inside the TD. So that's the difference. Since we only have one TD here, so it's okay if we are going to put it here. Okay. I will just copy that and apply to this one, and for this one also, because it should be center also. Okay. And then let's try to refresh, to save, and go back to the browser to see the changes. Okay. Okay, let's refresh the browser. See, so that's already actually center. Okay. And then okay, we're going to make this larger font, and this one is bold, this one is bold. Okay. Oops, let's go back to the editor. If you still recall the font tag, okay, and slash font here, okay, and then you specify here the size. So let's say the largest is 7. Let's say font size equals 4. Okay, and then okay, this one should be bold. You can use B tag or bold tag, this one, or the strong tag. Okay, so bold up to here, let's say /B, and this one is bold, this one also. Okay, so let's try to save this, and then okay, let's try to save this and go back to the browser. Okay, so let's click the refresh button or the reload. Okay, so you can still adjust the size of this. Okay, I think we could make this as 5, and then that's it. And we will proceed to our next target to write some objectives here, and we will be using the unordered list tag to have a bulleted details that will be included here, like let's say objectives. Okay. Okay, let's go back to our source code. Okay, so from here We already have this table, and I think this time instead of table we're going to specify to add an unordered list, or the UL tag. Okay, UL, that is for unordered list. Okay, a sandwich tag also. So inside your UL, okay, you should have your LI for the list item. Okay, so let's say this is the first objective, you write it here, and then for the next one, so I think somewhere here, let's try to put it here first, although we can change that later. Let's say I will write here objectives. Okay, and then something like this. Okay, or don't need that. Okay. And here let's try to put an objective. Let's say if you want to okay, let's say this one, to develop portal or dynamic websites and system applications which are useful to companies, schools, and other organizations, and especially for the benefit of the common people and even for the individuals. Okay. And then another LI here, or before that, let's try to save this first. Okay, so that we will see the changes. Okay. So let's go back to the browser, and let's try to refresh this page. See, so we have your objectives and the first list, this one, to develop portal or dynamic websites and system applications which are useful, blah blah blah. So that's it, and we can just make this into bold and a larger font. Okay, and then okay, let's go back to the editor and add more objectives. Let's say we have 3 objectives. Okay, to for us to be able to see the use of the unordered list, or in any word processor that is a bulleted a bullet format, or a bulleted details or list. Okay, going back to the editor, so we will specify another LI here. Okay, and let's say one more LI. You can just copy this. Okay, so we have now 3 LIs, or 3 LI, meaning we have 3 objectives to be specified here. Okay, now let's say our second objective is to continuously enhance my knowledge in programming and any other related jobs in my profession, and to share my knowledge in programming. Okay, something like that. Okay, so let's try to put first here bold. We can just enhance or modify that later. Okay, now we have the main table, and inside it we have the another table, and then actually we can already specify border equals 0, or remove the entire border attribute or property inside the table. So you can put 0 so that it will not be visible, the lines or the borders inside it. And then we have now this one. Okay, let's try to save this first, and then let's move back to the browser, and from our browser you click the refresh button. See, so we have now this. I think I could zoom this. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, so you have here your name. This is actually in table, inside the table, and then you can just change the font face. Okay, so this is just a default font face, okay, or font style, and then now you have the three objectives here, and the next target is the, okay, let's go back to our whiteboard to check the next thing that we need to do. Okay, so we have now this, so we have also the objectives here, and this time I think we need to specify the personal data. Okay, and the last part is the for our special skills. Okay, or for my special skills, or your special skills if you're doing the sample. Okay, so again we have this. Okay, we already have this, and this time is our target. Okay, the personal data. Okay, so meaning we're going to put that below this one. Okay, so we're going to add another table here like what we did here, but I think we're not going to put that at the center because it should be aligned here. Okay, okay, so let's go back to our editor. Okay, so this is our editor. This time we need to add another table. Okay, I'll just copy this one table. Okay, and I will write or specify border width equals 1, or the thickness, and then closing tag for table. And I think if you remove the align equals center, the default value is left, or you can specify align equals left. Okay, so I will just remove that, and then inside this one we're going to the first TR with 1 TD, because we're not going to put the word personal data at the center, so that's a normal TD or table data, and then closing tag for TR because it's just on the first row. Okay, so here I will write personal data, something like that, and then we'll have another TR. Okay, but this time I think we will be having two columns, because for the first column we'll specify, let's say for example, age. Okay, and then something like this, and for the next column we have here the age, let's say 41. Okay, and then we're just going to copy this part, the second row, for us to specify the let's say birth date. Birth date and the birthplace. So birth date first, say July 5, 1979. Okay, and then copy that, and we have here the birthplace. birthplace. Okay. Oops. Birthday. Let's say here we have Donsol Sorsogon. By the way, this is my province, my hometown actually, and if you're not yet aware of the whale shark, it's in our place. You can visit our town, the municipality of Donsol province of Sorsogon here in the Philippines. So we have there the whale shark, or what we call in Tagalog the butanding. Okay, and then we have so anything about your personal data you can include it here. Okay, just for some sample purposes, I think that's enough first. And we are going to save this one, and then let's go back to the browser and try to refresh or reload the page, and see you have now this one. So you have here the personal data, but as you can see from here, that's why I put first the table border. As you can see from here, the word personal data occupies up to this part. That's why even if the age, birthplace, and birth date and birthplace is only up to this part, it also they had this spaces here. So that's why we could apply now the our topic last night on how to use the col span or column span, or on how to merge the columns. So we have two columns supposedly here, but it's only from this part or second row. On the first row we have only one column, but it just happened that on the succeeding we have two columns. That's why this is a problem. Okay, if we're going to look at the design, that's not look good. Okay, in order to solve this, we will apply the attribute which is col span to merge the columns on the very first row. Okay, so let's go back to our source code, and we will just simply specify the column span or col span here. Col span equals 2 because we only have two columns on the succeeding rows. Okay, so let's try to save this, and also we can already make this personal data. We can make this bold. Okay, let's go back to the browser and reload the page. See, so we have now this. Okay, so if you want to put a margin here, you can add you can just play it around. You can add, let's say, another column here, or you can specify no blank space, but by this time we're just going to finish first let's check again our design or our plan for today. Let's go back to our whiteboard. Okay. Okay, so we have now this, but the thing is that you still need to put some margin here, okay? Or you can add some spaces here, okay? But there are many ways on how to do that. But I will show you the I will teach you the very basic. But there are again many ways on how to do that, okay? Just for you to be able to know also the use of some tags that starts with the ampersand, like the ampersand and BSP for no blank space, okay? Although there are other tricks to do this, okay? Let's go back to the editor, to the browser first. And from your browser, yeah, we are going to move this entire table going to the right to make the alignment right, okay, or to make it aligned here. Okay, let's go back to our editor. Okay, so from here, as I've said, we will use the basic one, okay? Let's say ampersand and BSP semicolon to have one single space, so, or before the table, okay? So another NBSP 3 4, okay, so 3 spaces. Let's try this one first. Okay, let's save this one, and then let's try to reload our page. But this NBSP, we put it here, okay, so it should not be before the table. Okay, let's go back to the editor. Oh, it should not be here instead. And by the way, even if we do this, okay, let's try this one first. So no effect, because even if you put it into the next line, or even in a single line, that will have the same effect, okay? So in order to do that, let's make some tricks. Because for this time, I don't want to teach you about the other style, because the cell pad, the margin left or the margin right here. So I'll teach you some tricks. Let's say we're going to add another column here, okay? Let's go back to the browser. I mean to the editor, and then from here. So instead of this, okay. So instead of that, we're going to have to put another column. Here also. Okay, by the way, not here. It should be, so we have here the TD, and we have the table, okay, You think we could have another TR. And then let's try to specify one more TD here. Okay, let's try to save this one, and let's go back to the browser. Okay, so now we have two table data or two columns below this one. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a call span for this part and the second column here. So call span equals 2. Okay, let's go back to our editor, and I hope you could still follow, because this time we have now two table rows. Okay, so this one and this one. So the closing tag for this one is this one, and this one we have below /tr for the, because we are now dealing with two table rows. Okay, in order to fix that, this is again related to the topic last night. What you need to do is to specify here, because this is just one column, as you can see from here, one column only, but here we have one and we have two columns. Okay, so what we need to do is to specify here a call span. Okay, call span equals 2. Okay, and then let's try to save this, and let's try to go back to our browser. See, so we have now this, so we could adjust this column width here. Okay, to make this align here. Okay, let's say for example we want to put some NBSP or no blank space inside the column. Okay, let's go back to our editor, and let's say I want to write here NBSP. Okay, no blank space. Okay, let's save this, and let's go back to the browser and reload the page. See, so you can do the adjustment. Okay, you can make a trial and error for this, and then yeah, for this one we could put this here. But before that, before we fix everything, let's try to okay, so let's try to fix the distance between these two. Okay, let's go back to the editor. So okay, so we have one TD here, and we have one table and the UL, and then this is the next row. Okay, and then what we want to do is because we have here the height for this one. Okay, let's say Okay. By the way, let's continue first the so that okay. Let's check again the whiteboard. Okay, so we have now this, and for the special skills, because we have their multi columns also. Okay, let's continue it first. We can just fix the design later. Okay. Okay. Let's go back to our editor, and then let's do for the special skills. Let's say we could just, I think, okay, we could start from, actually that will be almost the same with this, but instead of copying that, okay, so that we could save time, let's copy this, and then from here, so you have now 3 rows. Okay. Mhm. By the way, uh, yeah, that's right. Okay. So here, instead of personal data, let's say special skills. Okay. And then let's say for the special skills, we want to divide it into 3 columns. So on the next row, I think let's remove this first. Okay, so that's the first row, and on the next row we should have 3 columns. Okay. Okay, we should have 3 columns. We have there the TD. By the way, we are going to specify another table. Okay, here we have another table. We can specify a border. Okay, slash table. Because our plan is actually to have this. Okay, our plan on this part, okay, is to have this kind of table. This one. Okay. So here at the top, we're going to write special skills. Okay. And here we are going to have another table. Okay. Because we're going to divide it into 3. Let's say the front end, the back end, and here the database. Something like that. So let's say the special skills for the front end, for the back end, and for the database platforms or database. So you will specify below all the front ends that you know, and all the back ends scripting that you know, or programming that you know, and all the database platforms that you know on, you know, to, or you can use for your development. Okay. So that's our goal for this particular part or last part. Okay. Although if you're going to really create a curriculum vitae or a resume, there are still other informations like eligibilities, educational background, character references. So that's on the last part, and the seminars held or conducted or and even attended. So those things, okay. And of course the works experiences, okay, or work experience. Okay, so let's go back to our editor. Okay, and then let's do the special skills. Okay, for this one we have another table inside, and we will have three columns. Okay. Mm-hmm. Of course, before the column you should have the tr slash tr, and the top column or the table header should be th. So here we will specify the front end. Okay, and next will be the back end, and lastly the database or database platforms, something like that. Okay, let's try to save this and go back to the browser. Okay, let's try to refresh. Okay, so you have now that special skills, front end, back end, and database. And below this, we're going to specify the different front ends and back ends and databases or database platforms. Okay, let's go back to our editor. Okay, let's just copy this for our next row, and instead of ith, we're going to use td. Okay, and here let's say for example what is the first front end that we know. Let's say HTML, this particular topic. Okay, and what is the back end that we know? Let's say PHP. Okay, and then database, let's say MySQL. Okay, okay, and then you will just copy this for your for the other front end that you know. Let's say JavaScript. Okay, and then aside from PHP, PHP frameworks. Okay, PHP code igniter frameworks such as code igniter, or I don't need to specify that. Code igniter, Zen, etc. Laravel, Symfony. So for the database, aside from MySQL, let's say SQL Server, MS SQL Server, and then for JavaScript, actually jQuery is also a JavaScript, but although it's also different, but in essence that it is still JavaScript. Okay, let's specify jQuery. Okay, and then for the back end, let's say PHP and Python or ASP. Okay, okay, so I think this is more appropriate here, this one. I will just paste it here, and I will change this into, let's say if it's PHP, let's say PostgreSQL. PostgreSQL. What else? Also, there are actually a lot. Okay, you have the ASPX or the ASP, etc. Okay, let's try to save this one first, and then let's go back to the browser, and let's try to reload. See? Okay. So you can remove the border so that it's not visible. Okay, we can remove the border, and I could make this alignment. That's okay. Okay, let's go back to the editor, and then let's remove the border here. Let's make it, let's put 0 here, and for this one also, I don't know, special skill, yeah, that's right. And then this one is okay. You should have a border there. And what else? Okay, let's try to save this one and go back to the browser and try to reload this one. Okay. Maybe we haven't saved yet. Save. Okay. And then reload. Okay. Okay. We still have borders here for the entire table, so we need to put 0 also. Okay. Let's go back to the editor and also specify 0 here. Okay. Okay, to remove the borders for the entire table. Okay, save. And then let's go back to the browser and try to reload the browser. Yeah, so that's it. So you can just modify this, and actually we can make table as 100% to put it at the center. Okay, let's try it. Let's try it now. Okay, let's go back to the editor, and let's just specify here border width and height is, or we don't need the height, that will move or adjust automatically. This one, let's make this 100%. Okay, and then if we refresh the page, okay, oh, that's it. So if you adjust that one like this one, okay, since that is 100%, okay, that would be okay. It's always at the center, and it will always look like this one. Okay, so if we're going to make it larger, okay, so again you can just modify, you can just edit this to enhance the look of our sample resume or curriculum vitae. Okay, so that is just to illustrate on how to use the table tag, and of course the different attributes of it, and how to make it, or how to make the nested table or tables within the table. Okay, so I think that's all for now, and before I end this session, I will show you again the source code. Okay.